Very warm welcome to TV47 News Updates on this 24th day of October 2022, a day that has seen the Wajir South Member of Parliament Mohamed Ado called for heightened security along the Kenya-Somalia border. One of the many stories that we've lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media platforms indicated at the bottom of your screen. Now with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now on to our top story this afternoon. Kiambu politician Gladys Njeri Mwangi, alias Chania, together with her co-accused Maurice Mbugua, have been released on a cash bail of 1 million shillings each, or a surety of a similar amount pending ongoing investigations on the murder of her husband George Mwangi. Chania was the main suspect in the murder case. Now, during the mention before Kiambu Magistrate Wilson Rading, the prosecution had sought more time of 7 days to complete the investigation, where they noted one of the farmhand is yet to be found and that the suspects might interfere with witnesses, a matter that was refuted by the defense counsel and later denied by the magistrate.
Samples were collected for further analysis from the body of the deceased. We have annexed a copy of the postmortem to the further affidavit. Fourthly, the first area which is yet to be covered is a search for a missing person, namely John Mwikiriria Mwangi of ID number 3299774.
We cannot give any legal justification to keep holding them without any charge. And the Constitution, Your Honor, is very clear. So the question I would wish to pose is, are we upholding the Constitution?
To the investigating officer at 9 a.m. The orders herein will lapse at the end of the 7 days. That is how the elephant in the room has been dealt with.
Meanwhile, Migori businessman Gadesh Patel has offered his 2.5 pieces of land on the Migori-Sirare-Kisii highway to Kenya Kwanza administration for development purposes to help promote the hustler movement. Addressing the press at the piece of land, the businessman of Asian origin said that he intends to partner with the government on President William Ruto, or rather of President William Ruto, to help promote the hustler movement by building a bakery and employing more youth into the venture. The businessman says that the bakery will help create jobs in Migori County and help reduce the burden of unemployment in the county and the country at large.
We are planning to set up a bread bakery to employ our youth and support our Migori County to grow more. By your best support, you are welcome with investor to partner with us for our greatest Migori County. We can support our all schools and local public 10% discounted bread. We can also give support to our local pickups to supply our bread delivery. And you will listen our request to bring partners to develop our Migori County with more investors. We are appealing you will be serious to support our Migori County, which will be #1 in Kenyan maps. We are interested to develop our Migori County, to give our people's job, and you will be happy to support our Migori County, #1 in Nyanza region. Mr. President, His Excellency Dr. Ruto, this is our East Africa Highway along Migori. We are planning to set up best bread bakery. We can bring more jobs for our hustler nations.
Now talk about patriotism, and that is right at the heart of it. Now to Migori's county neighbor, that is Kisii, where Kisii County Assembly Clerk James Nyaoga was today summoned at the Kisii Regional Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission offices to give his side of a story on fund embezzlement allegations made against him. Now speaking to the media, the EACC offices in Kisii Town, the South Nyanza Regional EACC Manager Otiko Enoch said that Mr. Nyaoga had been invited by the commission to answer to queries on the allegations of multiple compensation made during 2 trips to Uganda and India.
We still wait for him to come. As is the normal practice, we normally send such invites, and citizens are expected to comply. The allegation is basically touching on alleged travels he made to India and another one to Uganda, for which there is an allegation of multiple compensation. Of course, it is only him then who can be able to clarify those issues, and that's why we gave him an invite. This is a trip way back in 2019, late 2019, September or December. The 2 trips about about $500,000 each. So we are talking about $1 million. But that is as per the allegation. Those are things that.
Wajir South Member of Parliament Mohamed Ado is now calling on increased security operations along the Kenya-Somali border to prevent the entry of Al-Shabaab militia into the country. The legislator says the Somali government and civilian operation against the insurgent group could see them infiltrate and seek refuge in Kenyan territory. Take a look.
We have got so many vacuums in that most of our locations and sub-locations are not adequately staffed with the police forces and also do not have chiefs. And those places where they are vacuum is where these people, the terrorists, always find a hideout. First of all, we are appealing for the filling of these places with the necessary security personnel, and also for chiefs and sub-chiefs to be appointed, because they are in touch with the society and they are the first line of defense that we have.
Now, as counties continue to grapple with the problem of dump sites, the devolved units have been urged to expedite formulation and implementation of laws on the management of solid waste they generate. Civil societies that are keen on environmental conservation have underscored the need for counties to align their waste management policies with the Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022. Chichi Josephine with that story.
Addressing the press after an engagement forum in Nakuru, the civil society organizations backed the new law passed by the National Assembly in February and in Senate in June this year, saying it was a major milestone.
But I think I found
GAP-Link Director Tomboya underscored the need for county government to embark on implementing the act, noting that it will solve most challenges on waste management.
This kind of engagement will be able to help so that even as they formalize the technical findings that this entity will have come with can be able to be used into those, so that we can have a very vibrant collection unit and also a vibrant disposal policy and laws.
Implementation of the law will go a long way in holding responsible farms that produce waste that has remained poorly managed, as they continue to make profits, according to Betaman Simidi, the founder of Clean Up Kenya.
Some of the things that we are looking at is the issue of extended producer responsibility. We know that the law is strong on that, in that producers or manufacturers will now be required to belong to a compliance scheme. And so we are discussing that to see, if that can help address the problem of plastic pollution.
Counties have been urged to lead in capacity building for interested groups to exploit the available opportunities.
For this purpose, I would like to say that it is very important to include organizations that work directly with the community, such as Youth Bilanoma, so that the information from the Act, the Waste Management Act, can be cascaded successfully to the members of the public at grassroots level for the proper implementation and adoption of the recommendations that are given in that policy, in that Act.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Remember, this comes at a time when everyone, or rather the world, is battling climate change, and everyone is being called on to be steadfast on waste management. Thank you, Chichi Josephine, for that report. Now moving on, following a myriad of challenges that female journalists face in the industry, the International Association of Women in Radio and Television, IWAT, in collaboration with the Media Council of Kenya, have taken an initiative to educate and motivate female upcoming journalists to prepare them for the industry. Speaking in Kisumu during the launch of the mentorship program for female journalism students from Nyanza and Nyanza regions, IWAT chairperson Josephine Karani has expressed confidence that the program will be beneficial to the students. The program, which targets students in tertiary institutions, has so far reached 100 female students, with 20 more targeted before the end of the year.
Media is a tough field for women, but because we have been there and the girls can see from the ladies here who are mentors, about 12 of us, they are in media houses, they are in senior positions, they have grown through the ranks, they have made it, quote unquote, in this field, so the girls can actually believe in them.
We've mentored more than 150 girls, and the reason for mentorship in journalism is very important, especially when we look at how many women we have in the media. The number is very small, and we've realized that we need to prepare the university students before they get already to the media.
We have a challenge in the sense that women who go into the media, most of the time they run away, or when they aspire for different softer spots, in quotes.
Again, you also notice that our newsrooms have a gender dimension, that they are largely male dominated. So what we have been doing also together with partners is to identify students, especially female journal students at college level, who are then attached to mentors to help them grow. Because we also notice a number of reasons why women journalists sometimes leave newsrooms. It's not because they are unable to do journalism, but because of this other unrelated social, cultural thing.
Elsewhere, Governor Mutula Kilonzo has placed an anti-logging ban in Makueni County following increased inferno incidents in forest areas of the county in a move to protect the county's forest cover. The first-term governor alleged that some persons were involved in the fire incidents witnessed so as to get a reason to cut down trees, which is greatly impacting negatively to the climate of the region. Some of the forests affected are Kitondo, Makuli, Chululu and Katende.
Watu wanataka kuchoma hiyo miti kama vile Douglas Mbilu amesema, wanatafuta njia ya kufanya logging, na tumesimamisha logging at county. Kama kuna mtu alikuwa anategemea utachoma miti ya Kitondo Forest, Katende Forest, Makuli Forest na Chulu Forest, alafu upatiwe license ya kulog, siku zako zimekwisha. Hakuna license utapata. Because it is a very bad thing. Na wale wako pale juu Kivale, wametumia misitu yetu, wameweka beehives. Tuliwapatia beehives kidogo. Sasa wameongeza, there are about 1,000 beehives in our forest. So these forests are useful. If we do not understand, the Community Forest Association of Katende, tafadhali muingie kwa hiyo kazi ya kuhakikisha ile miti ambayo sisi tunataka kuchunga haiharibiki. Because this is the only place I spoke to the then waziri at that time. Walikuwa wamekata miti 4,000 pale Kivale Forest. Na wanaingia katikati ya msitu, wanakata inasako, huku nje mkiangalia juu ya mlima mnaona kuna miti na hakuna miti.
Now from Makueni to Machakos, where the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers continued to push for the abolishing of boarding schools as a way of relieving teachers. Speaking to the media in Machakos after the KUPPET annual meeting, the organization's Secretary General Akelo Misori noted that boarding school teachers go an extra mile of exercising parental roles instead of only teaching in class, which is their main mandate. Misori further reported that boarding school teachers are facing challenges of implementing CBC curriculum on their children.
We'll start slow, but just for teachers,
you know, the teacher-student ratio is it doesn't add up. And therefore, we need more teachers to be employed as a matter of urgency.
Ensuring that the teachers who teach in ASAL regions are compensated with what is called hardship There are some regions which like Kalama region and Mwala. These are terribly hardship regions, and then if our personnel are demotivated by working in such environment without the 30% basic pay hardship allowance, it makes their work very difficult. With the Presidential Working Party on reforms in education, as we applaud and appreciate that it has come at the right time, there are certain issues that this task force must address. Key among them is the categorization of schools. What makes our education very expensive in this country is where we have to take children to boarding schools, making our public education very expensive. In fact, the public schools are more private than the private schools themselves. So with this regard, GOtv pushes for what we call the categorization of schools, so that we remove the idea of national, extra-county, county, and sub-county schools, because these terms appear very derogatory and discriminatory.
Now, from matters education to matters health, where children with disabilities and other mental disorders in Mwatate, Taita Taveta County have received a free medical checkup from a well-wisher. Speaking to the press, the group asked parents with such children to bring them out for medical and financial support instead of hiding them at home, a move which prevents them from growing with others, thus hindering them from identifying and pursuing their dreams.
Tunafanya hii kwa sababu mara nyingi watoto hawa wanakosa huduma hii muhimu. Wengine wao ni mara yao wa kwanza kuweza kupata na daktari wa macho, na hivyo basi ni wakati wa kipekee. Unapoona siku ya leo wako hapa watoto zaidi ya 300 ambao wametoka sehemu mbalimbali ya kaunti ya Taveta.
Today is an Opening Eyes initiative, which means our emphasis in this health campaign is to look at eyes, where we do complete medical check on the eyes. The ones that can be treated today